This man was a killer in Korea named Yui Gang. Yui Gang was famous for his brutality and savagery when dealing with his targets. However, after meeting the love of his life, Yui Gang decided to give up the bloody path to live a peaceful life. However, fate clearly did not leave them alone. The next morning, Yui Gang was holding a cup of coffee. He stretched his legs on the sofa and leisurely read a classic. At this time, Hyun-soo, his wife, approached and suddenly noticed a faint, unpleasant fishy smell in the house. She immediately suspected that her husband had just caused a gunfight. Before Yui Gang could refute, Hyun-soo skillfully used charm to appease. At the same time, she announced that in the afternoon, she had to take a friend on a trip to Jeju for 3 weeks. She also asked her husband to look after her friend's daughter during that time. She promised to repay him with a passionate night of love after returning. When hearing Hyun-soo's earnest words, Yui Gang reluctantly nodded in agreement. Immediately, Hyun-soo shouted with joy because her plan had succeeded. Yui Gang had no choice but to drive his Mercedes to take his wife and friend to the airport. After seeing his wife off at the airport, he continued to stop by the tutoring class to pick up his wife's friend's daughter. As soon as he stopped the car in front of the gate, fatigue came over him, so he took the opportunity to lean his head back on the chair to take a nap. Not knowing how much time had passed, little Junji finally knocked on the door. After Yui Gang confirmed that it was the right person, he immediately stepped on the gas and took Junji and her friend to start a stormy journey. Just past a red light, Junji told Yui Gang that she had to stop by the bookstore to buy books and that she planned to stay at her friend's house for a few days. When she heard that, Yui Gang was happy in her heart. Yui Gang immediately gave Junji some money to protect herself while staying. Yui Gang also gave her phone number for easy contact. However, when Yui Gang returned home and fell asleep, Yui Gang joked that he could not bear to let a stranger sleep in the same room with his wife. Yui Gang was a strange and clean freak, so he couldn't accept that. Before Yui Gang could fall into a dream about his wife, Junji called for help. After answering the phone, Yui Gang had no choice but to rush to the scene at the fastest speed. When arriving at the scene, Yui Gang quickly realized that this was actually just a show-off of the kids to show off the Mercedes. Yui Gang realized that when he saw Junji climbing into a boy's car while next to him was a drunk girl lying on the side of the road. Immediately, Yui Gang remembered his wife's advice, so Yui Gang opened his phone and tracked the location to find out why Junji fell into this situation. It turned out that Yui Gang had secretly attached a positioning chip to Junji to ensure that no mistakes occurred. Thanks to that, Yui Gang was able to detect the exact location. On the other side, Junji was kneeling in front of Sung-son with a pale face. She couldn't hide the trembling in her eyes. Meanwhile, Sung-son had a threatening attitude and ordered that if Junji got into bed within an hour, she would be given 2 million won. Sung-son also analyzed that if Junji wasn't a virgin and underage, the amount of money she would be given would be limited to 800,000 won. Just as Junji was about to be slapped for disobeying, Yui Gang appeared in time and made a move that made everyone's eyes widen in shock. Yui Gang quickly glanced at the people around him to see who dared to rush forward because he wanted to know if anyone was bold enough to oppose him. Those people at that time could only stand still and not dare to react. In fact, in front of someone as strong as Yui Gang, they understood that with just one punch from Yui Gang, any challenger would be defeated. Seeing the rookies losing control, Yui Gang immediately took action without hesitation. He threw a powerful punch to Sung-son's nose, causing her to fall backwards onto the floor and pass out on the spot. At first, Yui Gang thought that this farce was over. However, the news of the 5 bodies being discovered immediately made him alert. Yui Gang understood that the person behind this incident was definitely not easy to deal with. Moreover, their real target was Yui Gang. Sure enough, the next morning, before Yui Gang had even had breakfast, Inspector Lee, who had memorized Yui Gang's license plate number from the night before, appeared again. The inspector frankly announced that Yui Gang was involved in the body case. He also had a video from a surveillance camera in his hand. Yui Gang remained silent, at the same time affirming that if there was no clear evidence, he would absolutely not reveal any information. After Inspector Lee left, Junji was stunned and extremely confused. At that moment, Sung-Son, who had called Junji last night, continued to put pressure on her. The boss asked if Junji had seen the news. Sung-Son coldly declared that she would take revenge because Yui Gang dared to hurt her eye. At the same time, she forced Junji to act immediately. Not stopping there, Sung-Son also ordered Junji to be taken along. Sung-Son threatened that if that was not done, Sung-Son would hand over the knife to the police. Sung-Son emphasized that Yui Gang's fingerprints were still clearly imprinted on the murder weapon. This would definitely cause Yui Gang to be accused of killing 5 people. Yui Gang immediately realized that this could not be left alone. After a few seconds of calculation, Yui Gang removed the tracking ring at the bottom of the box and gave it to Junji to avoid the other side taking advantage of him to capture the girl. Then Yui Gang drove straight out on his motorbike at a dizzying speed. It didn't take long for Yui Gang to find Sung-Son's location. Yui Gang discovered that the boss was hiding in a small room. When the thug in the room realized that someone was disturbing him, he immediately called his big accomplices to come to the rescue. In order to destroy the evidence, Yui Gang angrily smashed everything around him. Yui Gang growled in a threatening voice, causing the guy opposite to break out in a cold sweat. When he returned to his house, Yui Gang was stunned to find that the entire surveillance camera system had been destroyed. The large room was now empty, without a trace of Junji. The rising anxiety made Yui Gang extremely tense. Yui Gang immediately became completely sober. Yui Gang took out the loaded gun on his waist and followed the location signal to hunt down and destroy the enemy. When Yui Gang touched the suspicious car, he felt the engine was still hot. Without hesitation, Yui Gang used the butt of the gun to break the glass. Taking advantage of the moment the car door opened, with a cold gaze like steel, Yui Gang made the boss not dare to hide anymore. After a few scares, Yui Gang forced Sung-Son to reveal all the information about the criminal organization, how they operated, how they lured underage girls, and the networks behind them. However, when asked about Junji's whereabouts, Sung-Son only answered vaguely and evasively. Suddenly, Yui Gang fell silent and gently placed his hand on Sung-Son's thigh, causing Sung-Son to mistakenly think that he was about to do something dirty. Yui Gang coldly warned that if the knife went deeper, the aorta would be severed immediately, and then Sung-Son would definitely lose his life. In sharp pain, Sung-Son trembled and was forced to reveal where Junji was being held. Immediately after receiving the information, Yui Gang called the police. Inspector Lee quickly arrived at the scene to control the situation and save people and prevent Sung-Son from losing too much blood. Without delay, Yui Gang drove to the golf course hotel on the outskirts of Jeju. In Yui Gang's heart, he knew that the door to death had officially opened. When the hotel elevator door opened, Yui Gang then quickly gathered information that it was the manager who captured Junji. However, before Yui Gang could question him further, the manager was murdered by someone else. Seeing the situation becoming more and more dangerous, Yui Gang had no choice but to shoot the last bullet to silence him. However, the person who appeared before him was Yuri, the mysterious assassin of the Russian Special Forces. Yuri had had a brief battle with Yui Gang before. The battlefield atmosphere immediately flared up again. Yuri coldly revealed Junji's location. She emphasized that at exactly 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, from Dongring Station to the Iran River, Junji would be taken away. He warned that if Yui Gang wanted to save people, Yui Gang had to hurry. As soon as he noticed Yuri getting closer and closer, Yui Gang understood that he didn't have much time left.
제가 좀 무섭겠지. 이거 좀 위험하지.
Immediately after, Yui Gang drove to Dongring Station at extremely high speed. After a quick check, Yui Gang successfully found traces of Junji. In the cold room, Yui Gang finally found Junji. Without hesitation, Yui Gang picked up Junji and prepared to take her away from the danger. Yui Gang tightened her grip on the gun and coldly questioned the driver. Yui Gang ordered him to reveal who paid for Junji. Knowing that there was no way out, the driver just raised his middle finger to mock him. Without hesitation, Yui Gang pulled the trigger and shot him with a bullet. Then Yui Gang searched his phone and discovered evidence of bribery, which was directly related to Inspector Lee. In that situation, Inspector Lee could only agree to assist Yui Gang without revealing the secret. At the same time, Inspector Lee used his underground connections to track down the person who kidnapped Junji. Time flew by like lightning. Just 3 days later, Junji had recovered and was gradually returning to normal. Meanwhile, Inspector Lee received news from Interpol about the BMW driver's true identity. This person served a boss named Park, a high-ranking smuggler who regularly operated in Russia. According to the source, if Junji was sent to Russia, Junji would immediately be locked up in a hotel that Park had booked in advance. After getting the information, Yui Gang did not hesitate. Not long after, the curtain covering the human trafficking syndicate was lifted. The real boss was a powerful judge. He lived a double life. During the day, he sits on the bench of justice. At night, he chooses random girls to satisfy his animalistic desires. Park was the one in charge of kidnapping and supplying the girls to him. What was even more despicable was that he would pay double the reward if the victim was a minor. To please the boss, the group expanded its operations to Russia and Southeast Asia. They organized large-scale shipments. While excitedly telling the plan, Park suddenly received a mysterious call from Mira. Faced with the shadow of death, he no longer dared to deny. He was forced to reveal Mira's criminal network. Looking at this crazy guy, Yui Gang felt that he was filthier than an animal. Indignation exploded. Yui Gang coldly pulled out a gun and shot Park 5 times, killing him on the spot. In this dark world, such people absolutely could not exist. Based on the new clue, Inspector Lee followed and discovered the person behind all the crimes. That was a top judge in Seoul, candidate Jung-hoon, who would sit on the next Supreme Court judge's chair. When Yui Gang knew of this news, he went to an old friend and asked him to get him a bear's gun. After nightfall, Jung-hoon immersed himself in a sea of meat and wine at his own villa. At At the same time, a female student named Junji was brought to the villa. Jung-hoon's eyes turned red when he saw the beautiful girl, so he immediately brought his prey back to his room to prepare for his pleasure. Meanwhile, Yui Gang had infiltrated the base. Yui Gang was led straight to Jung-hoon's room. When Jung-hoon saw Yui Gang, he was extremely impressed. At that time, the scoundrel was still fondling the little girl, Junji sitting next to him. Immediately after, Jung-hoon ordered his subordinates to take Yui Gang out because Yui Gang made him lose interest. After that order, Jung-hoon quickly inhaled 2 puffs of white powder to find excitement. Jung-hoon immediately ordered Junji to quickly lie down on the bed. Yui Gang was escorted out.
In the book of fame, can you hear the battle cry? Rising with the falling light, the moon wears crimson tonight. Warriors of the storm, hearts beating, armor through. We are born to fight till the last flame burns through. In the eye of war we win. No surrender, no retreat. Blood and thunder at our feet. Through shattered shields, beating feathers on the battlefield. Our stars write legends yet untold. Fate's pendulum swings in hands of gold. Watch the banners drown in smoke. Every wound becomes a cloak. We are the fire, we are the flood, rising where others stood.
Right after that, Yui Gang slowly walked into Jung-hoon's room. At this time, Jung-hoon was happy because he was about to enjoy the beautiful girl. However, as soon as Jung-hoon stepped out, Jung-hoon's face suddenly stiffened as soon as he saw Yui Gang. That expression was like Jung-hoon had a fly stuck in his throat. To save his life, Jung-hoon promised to give Yui Gang great power, but Yui Gang just laughed contemptuously. Immediately after that, Yui Gang resolutely shot the other person many times to end Jung-hoon's sick animalistic nature. After the incident, Yui Gang quietly went to Jeju to find the person who invited his wife to travel. When his bullet flew out and hit that woman, the truth was revealed. That person was Mira, Junji's stepmother. It turned out that Mira wanted Junji to have a relationship with Yui Gang. Junji was a young girl who was still a minor. Only then could Mira ask the judge to seize the property that Yui Gang had. However, Mira did not know that Yui Gang had no interest in Junji. At the end of the film, Yui Gang went to where his wife was watching the beach. Yui Gang expressed that he had kept his promise to his wife. When Hyun-soo saw Junji safe, he couldn't help but hug Yui Gang happily. It turned out that Hyun-soo had already realized Junji's stepmother's plan, so she wanted her husband to help her rescue the girl, like Yui Gang had saved Hyun-soo before. The movie ended here. Thank you for watching, goodbye, and see you again.